Here we are back after, a 1 week hiatus at the Wait for It Seattle podcast at Seatown Sports.
We had a little spring break, right?
Yeah, a little break. You need a little break every once in a while when life gets in the way. But we're back, and I've got so many things to talk to Kevin about.
Me too. There's things from the last episode. People were listening and sending me things about our rap conversation.
Really?
Apparently, my cousin said in
I don't even remember
1993.
talking about rap. What
Yeah,
were we
yeah.
saying?
You said that 1993 was an underrated
Yeah.
year, or like one of the best years for
Yes.
hip hop.
Yeah.
And then I went on my whole thing about the different mediums of which we listen to music. So, as always, you have great cultural capital,
Oh, wow.
and I just over intellectualize things. Anyways, my cousin emails me or messages me after, and he says, "Your mom got me the Doggy Style tape for Xmas '93. I was in 7th grade. John, my other cousin, and his brother got the Shaq Diesel tape."
That's not on the same level. That is not. I mean, it might have some cultural relevance of Shaq. Like, I listened to it for sure, but those two albums should not be spoken in the same sentence.
So just for the people that need context, when we say Shaq Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal had a rap tape.
Yeah, no one needs context. Everybody knows this.
I mean, like, you hear about those things, but you don't actually think like,
Wait,
they
did
actually
you
like,
never hear it?
No.
This. I mean, I can't play it for you now, but on the Shaq Diesel, I think the number one song, if I remember right, I'm looking it up. I'm cheating a little bit, but "What's Up, Doc? Can We Rock? What's Up, Doc?" It's Shaq just being ridiculous. And then he had the song "I'm Outstanding." That was probably the biggest single from the '93.
So Flau'jae
it was
has
not
some,
bad.
I mean, yeah, Flau'jae needs to move a album on Spotify and keep on the tradition of decent rap albums.
She's a better rapper
from
than Shaq
athletes.
immediately.
There
When
you
I
go.
just said it's not bad, again, not in the same breath as the other albums we talked about. Shout out to Bev for buying Doggy Style for your cousin for his birthday. Like,
in 7th grade.
what a G. She's such a G.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Anyways.
Okay. Here's the lead off today, Kev. You don't get to talk about anything else because I'm going to press you right now live. Okay. At least one person. Okay. Let's be honest. One person has asked me for a fantasy baseball update. It's somebody who used to be in our league who no longer is. Just to set the context here, Kevin and I are in a fantasy baseball league that I'm the commissioner of. And I'll pause there because most people I say fantasy baseball, they go, "What? You play fantasy baseball? That seems exhausting, right? Everyday lineups, all that stuff."
Or
people
the classic,
that are true,
they have fantasy for baseball, not just football.
Exactly, right? Like, everybody
loves
loves fantasy football. Fantasy basketball is an enigma. Nobody understands if it's fun or not. Fantasy baseball, for true fantasy people, they love it, right? Rotisserie scoring, meaning all your categories of offense and pitching get added up over the year. Top in the standings gets the most points, and you win. Okay. Kevin also does other fantasy league. I do league. We love fantasy baseball. Okay. This league is not just fantasy baseball, which is your first level of nerd. This next level it's a dynasty league, meaning you can keep players from year to year. The third level of that is it's not only a dynasty league. We do a salary cap / auction draft, and then we assign contracts to players for 1, 2, 3, or 4 years. We also have a minor league draft, so you can carry 5 minor leaguers at a time. It is awesome. We have a Google sheet of rules. It is great. Okay, that's the context here. Everybody's on the edge of their seats. Kevin has a team named Seatown Sports. Good job marketing, Kev. And he's actually above me in the standings. But Kevin is like the Robinson Cano Mariners, where he is just sitting there with no future value on his roster, basically, and just hoping he'll be relevant. And he's really not. Okay.
Although I did have a trade proposal that went stale that I was like,
but you actually proposed a trade, because I was going to say
someone offered me Cole Young and it went stale because I just couldn't make up my mind.
Yeah, exactly. This is my point. You've made 8 moves and spent $3 in fantasy budget out of 100 on the entire season. I have had 26 move and spent $50 of my $100 already on the season, the fab budget. I'm wheeling and dealing.
You
I'm
are
Jerry
below
Dipoto,
me.
just throwing. Give me another minor leaguer at any time.
I
I've
mean,
completely revamped my roster already this year. I'm
yeah.
trying to create future value.
Can I
Here's
just
the
give
deal.
some
What?
context for my roster?
Sure.
Okay, I am the Seattle Mariners version of this fantasy baseball league because I
Like you're
have
the
filled
Robinson
up.
Cano Seattle Mariners.
No,
version.
I've filled up all 4 IL spots. Plus, I have guys that can't even fit onto the IL because I have too many guys on the IL. I have 6
this is
players that are
everybody.
injured.
This
Is
the
that
whole
everybody?
league. The whole league is full of injured players. Yeah, Kev,
Gosh.
you've got to do something, right? And so that's what we're doing here live on air.
Yes.
Okay. You and I have to make a trade right now.
Okay.
So I need future value. My team's not going to be good this year. I've got some players who are having great years this year who have no contract after the year. You're above me in the standings. You want to get top 3. I know how you roll. You want the money. You want to be top 3 this year. Give me George Kirby and his $17 contract over the next 2 years.
Okay.
What do you
So
want?
I just want to make sure I have my standings here in front of me because there's a specific category I was hunting for this morning and I couldn't find it on the waiver wire.
Okay, tell me
And
what
that
it is.
was strikeouts. And
Well,
so
that
I'm
doesn't
giving
help
you Kirby.
because you're giving me Kirby. It doesn't help.
And I need saves. Do you have saves?
I got saves.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like definitely give me your best saver.
Well, I'm not going to give you my best for George Kirby.
Kirby's an ace.
An ace in whose world?
Well,
we're in a quality start league, and he went 5 innings today.
that is true. But I do think besides Wu, he's the most likely on the Mariners rotation to pick up a quality start. So yeah, you obviously won't give me Mason Miller. Okay, I
I'm
get
not giving you Mason Miller.
Okay, yeah, I wouldn't give you Mason Miller either. Can we just lock in Lucas Erceg from the
For
Royals?
Kirby, straight up.
No, absolutely not.
Why not?
That's
You
crazy.
get a closer.
Okay, Erceg. Yeah, I get a closer, but that is there's no future value. He could end up not
You don't
being
need
the closer
future value. You're
in
going
2 weeks.
for it this year.
Yeah. But you and me both know that Erceg might not even last till the All-Star break.
No,
so
he's good. He's locked in.
I need one more. I need at least one more dude.
Okay, do you want a starter to replace Kirby, who's just doesn't have future value? I'll give you Braxton Ashcraft. He's been good.
Is he even on your? Oh,
Yeah.
here he is.
It's
5
been really
quality
good.
starts.
Yeah.
The 2.77 ERA.
He's basically the same guy as Kirby, and I'm giving you a closer for Kirby. I'm taking your $17 giant George Kirby contract.
Okay, what
away.
are the contracts on Ashcraft and Erceg?
Nothing. They're up after this year.
Wow,
and I'm taking your Kirby for 17 for 2 years after this.
I'm giving you 2 years of Kirby.
It's not that great of a contract, to be honest. $17. See, this is riveting stuff. Let's do it. Lock it in.
Yeah. Okay, let's do it.
Let's go. We did it. We made a trade on air.
I can't believe I gave Kirby up for...
Here's the thing. You're a co-owner with Jeff Michaels. That's the best part about this. And so now he has to listen to the podcast and realize you traded me Kirby.
Well,
and your word is your bond.
Okay, so I'm going to throw him under the bus because the reason the Cole Young trade lagged is because he never gave me feedback. And so by the time he gave me feedback this morning, the trade lagged.
So yeah, we're just doing it.
Forgot what it was. Okay, so great
the
trade.
Offer's going your way right now.
God,
you have to accept it during the podcast. You don't have to accept it immediately, like right now.
Yeah, but
during the podcast at some point.
You know,
unless you want to trade me Aaron Judge
in the middle of the night. If I get regrets, I'm going to email every member of the league. I'm going to blast the group email and say, can we vote the trades down? Or is it just...
I'm the commissioner. I get to push it through. It's great. I love the way this league works. Okay.
It's like Trump getting a third term. Horrible. No democracy.
All right. Okay. Anyway, moving on. That was our leadoff. We did it. The leadoff is done. That was so great. I wanted to do that on the air. People are going to love it.
Yeah,
that's how you make fantasy baseball trades. You got to call people. You got to text them. If you just send, I'm telling you this right now for football too. If you just send a proposal and it sits there, like Kev said, it just sits there. That's why you got to get the numbers of the people in your league and make the magic happen. Okay. Here's the format for today. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So different sports, different teams. 5 things to talk about, 4 things to talk about, 3 things, 2 things, 1 thing, leading into our top 5, which will be very fun today, I promise you. You want to stay for the CC Sabathia reference. Okay, we're starting off with 5 things about the Seattle Mariners. Okay, Kev?
Yep.
So here's the first one. Probably biggest topic right now. This sort of 6-man rotation / 6-man rotation for a week, and then Castillo and Miller are piggybacking, but nobody really knows what that means yet. Like, we know it means what I proposed on the podcast, that they're starting on the same day, or they're like pitching together on the same day, but no one's seen it work. Is it going to be Miller? Is it going to be Castillo?
By the
What's
way,
going on?
how on were you when Adam Jude released the article of all the potential scenarios? It was like he listened to the podcast. So
No.
kudos to you.
Thank you.
For laying out the scenarios a couple weeks before this actually
Before
happened.
Jude's article, and then before they said they were going to do this. I advocated for a 6-man rotation. I actually now am advocating against it. I think they should just put Castillo in the bullpen.
Yeah.
But I get it. He's $27 million, but he's really bad.
Popular
Kev.
clubhouse guy.
You
Yeah.
love Castillo, by the way.
You know, it's giving me shades of what Felix was like when he started to suck. And with Felix, there were injuries that precipitated it. And for Castillo, it just looks like his velo is down, and that's what was wrong with Felix.
Yeah, but he threw 97.
Yeah, but
I don't think it moves. I think that's the
that's
problem.
what I was going to say. Like, a lot of guys can throw 97 now.
Yeah.
Everyone's throwing pretty high heat.
True.
And
good point. Yeah.
you do I think when you're getting like he's at the latter end of the latter stage of his career, and so you can't just have the velocity. You have to have what you just said. You have to have the movement to pair with it. And he's just getting battered. I don't know a better way to put it.
Yeah, his Baseball Savant page, which if you've never gone to Baseball Savant, it's very fun. You don't even need to know how to read everything. You could just look at these like numbers in all these columns of where they look at value versus like poor, average, great. So his pitching run value is in the poor category. His off-speed run value, poor category. Fastball run value, poor category. He has, Kev, I looked this up just for you today. Luis Castillo has a 6.57 ERA. You said on a podcast on March 24th, I'm just going to quote you, Kev. I'm choosing violence today, that he is a 6-inning machine. And the good thing about Castillo is he's just going to go deep into games. He's only done that twice. He has the 4th worst ERA among 30 innings in all of baseball. He's really bad.
Has he earned the benefit of the doubt and the chance to turn it around, though? I think most people will say, Kevin, it's May. Like, he's had enough reps. He hasn't proved it. I mean, where are you on that line? We're not at the All-Star break yet. Any moment, any of these pitchers could have an injury, and then we're, quote, stuck with Castillo in the 5 as a number 5 starter.
I think they will to a certain extent, although we still don't know what this is. So Miller's pitching Wednesday, and I think Castillo's pitching Thursday in Houston. And then the next time around, they said they're going to do this. Ryan Davis reported like this piggyback option, but no one's really said what that means yet. So is Miller going to start and go 4 and then Castillo go 3? Like, I think it's kind of intriguing. Castillo kind of blows up a lot of times in like the 4th. At least that's my memory of him.
Yeah.
Especially with the bullpen issues, like maybe that's cool, but Bryce Miller's throwing 98 in AAA. Of course, he was bad last year, so they're probably just buying time, right? They know Wu, Kirby, Gilbert, good to go. They know they're not taking Hancock out of the rotation, right? You did hit on that, Kev. You were like not worried about Hancock as the 5th starter, and you nailed it. He's an all-star right now. He's incredible.
Yeah.
So they're probably just buying time to see what happens between the two of them in their next start. But I think you're right. I think they're going to give him as much benefit of the doubt as possible.
It just makes sense because I do think of like the trade thing. I think of the contract thing.
You can't trade him, though.
I mean, they can.
Nobody's going to take him. I mean, they'd have to eat
they'd
$25 million.
Yeah, they'd eat his contract.
But what's the point of that?
I think like the value of him though would be what people. I think a lot of people. The radical solution would be to stick him in the bullpen as like a long reliever type, and maybe that's what he becomes with this piggyback option.
Right.
But who knows?
I mean, Hancock truly, as good as he's been, he really tends to struggle in the 6th when he struggles. I doubt Miller's going to go 6th consistently, just based on his track record. The bullpen is in sort of shambles, which we'll talk about here in a second. But I don't know. Castillo in the bullpen doesn't sound bad to me, but he's making $27 million next year as well.
Yeah.
So are you just, I mean, that shouldn't matter because that's a sunk cost, but that's where we are. So let's talk about the bullpen. That's our second thing here.
It's like, it's bad.
Can I just take a moment to appreciate myself?
Yes, you can take a
on
moment
the same
to
podcast
yourself.
on March 24th, Kevin, if you go to the 48-43 mark in the episode, you will find me say to you, I'm worried about the bullpen. And here's what I said. Munoz seemed very hittable, and I'm worried about him having a down year. Check. Great save tonight by Munoz, by the way. Spire's good every other year. Mostly check, injury related. We don't know about Ferrer. He may not be as good as we think. Ferrer's been pretty good.
He's been good.
Yeah.
I
did not predict
Munoz
a brash
has
injury.
Not been good. He's been good.
Yeah, I did not pick brash injury, but the bullpen is not the biggest concern overall, I think. We'll get to my biggest concern in a second. But it's a concern right now with Brash and Spire on the injured list, and now Ferrer in the Houston series.
Paternity list.
Just went to paternity leave, so they are missing 3 of their best.
Welcome to paternity leave, Jose Ferrer.
Welcome.
Email me if you need some tips.
He might do that. Do you know who pitched today? They won 3-1 against the Astros. They're 2 games under 500 again. They're just back in mediocrity land, but still like 2 games out of first place. Nick Davila pitched his 6th inning today.
Did you know he was on the Mariners?
Kevin, I watch every game. But he pitched today on the radio. They said he was in. And I said, who is that? And he's pitched. This is his 3rd game. So I obviously don't watch every single inning. I do now vaguely remember they brought him up, made his major league debut, obviously 2 games ago. But I did not. When they said his name warming up in the bullpen, I'm like, that's not a person. No offense.
It's just so funny because I feel like they've brought up at least like 5 to 10 people.
But yeah, they got Alex Hoppy or whatever. Yeah. They've got Josh Simpson.
Criswell?
Cooper Criswell is awesome. He's amazing right now, and he throws 88 miles per hour.
Yeah.
They just brought up another dude who's going to make his major league debut if he pitches that I can't tell you who he is, what his name is.
It's just kind of funny because, and I'm not advocating for him to come up right at this time, but I mean, there are some bats down in the minors and there's some pitchers, and these guys are not the highlight of the farm system.
No, I'm going to tell you right now, Josh Simpson, Jose Suarez, who we claimed off waivers from Atlanta while they were playing in Seattle, Alex Hoppy, Domingo Gonzalez is who they brought up today, Nick Davila, Cooper Criswell. All those guys are on the major league roster right now in the bullpen. What's happening? What is happening? So
it's a patchwork thing. I'm glad that this is kind of figuring itself out now.
Is it?
Guys can get healthy.
They're 20 and 22. Is it figuring it out?
Yeah, but here's the thing. This is just kind of the nice thing is that everyone seems to be 20 and 22 at this point.
Really
so the Mariners
have
not really lost any ground, and they're beating up on a division rival, which is great. Like the Astros are 16 and 26.
They are. That is crazy. 16 and 26. I mean, there are teams. The Red Sox are 17 and 23. The Blue Jays, who everyone picked is going to the World Series, are 18 and 23. The Mets are 15 and 25. The Giants are 16 and 24. Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's not a disaster. If the Mariners could just not get swept
by the White Sox,
they didn't get swept by the White Sox. They lost 2 out of 3. But think about it. They're 20 and 22, right?
Yeah.
They got swept by the Rangers. They got swept by the Padres, and they got swept by the Royals. If they win 1 game in those 3 series, which does not make them a good team,
they're above 500.
They're 23 and 20. And we're like, it's fine. It's so weird, but like if you just can avoid getting swept, you can be like a playoff team. So maybe it's easier said than done. My number 3 on the list for Mariner things today is the JP Colt conversation. Now, I say this, Colt Emerson, Jerry Dipoto has said multiple times, when he comes up this year, and it sounds like he will at some point, he's going to play third base. That's what he said. So he's not taking over for JP. The question is, should he? What do you think?
This is an unpopular position because I think Mariner Muse might be listening, but the Mariner Muse and the most straightforward Mariners fan that follows the numbers and the eye test will tell you that JP Crawford is not good at defense.
Yes.
And I think that's kind of the consensus right now, and I don't disagree with that consensus.
Can I just, before you finish, he's -4 in fielding run value on Baseball Savant. That is 55th out of 57 shortstops.
Yeah, so including the bench
warmers. -4 runs is what he's worth on defense.
There could be, so he's causing harm at playing that position.
That sounds harsh when you say it like that, but
But he is. He's causing harm. It makes you think, though, that there is an element of this has been my position in this franchise. He's one of the longest tenured Mariners. I think he might be actually the longest tenured Mariner on this roster.
Could be.
And he's had the shortstop position that you don't want to piss him off. Like, he's good at hitting. He's an everyday player.
You don't want to piss him off because you don't want to piss him off, or you don't want to piss the clubhouse off?
Both. Not an and/or, it's both. You don't want to piss him off, and you don't want to piss the rest of the clubhouse off. Like, what are you doing? This is a major league shortstop. Like, yeah, the numbers are bad, but look, like, right? Dan Wilson isn't going to pull JP Crawford in his office and show him a low light tape of all the things that he could have gotten.
No, he's not doing that.
He's not going to do that. And I think Dipoto is like just kind of sees where this is at. Like, you don't make that decision. And I'm interested in your perspective because you've been a coach where you're basically, what I'm advocating is for the intangibles, right? For this fear, maybe it's an irrational fear, but this fear that this guy's going to get demoted out of his position.
Yeah,
right?
You don't do it. I agree with you. I was asking the question because I was curious what you'd say.
Yeah.
I get it. I get that you can take a clip from a game and say, he didn't make this play. Look at what Colt's doing in AAA. If you care about this team, you do it. That's not how teams work. And for people to come out here and say, yeah, the most loved Mariner in the clubhouse, the literal team leader, even probably more than Cal in some ways, or maybe it's equal, right? And you're just going to take him out of the lineup, and people are like, well, just switch him to third. Like, I just don't think you can do that for a major league team and run a team that way. Like, those who have coached, those who have been in the position, no, you can't do it with every player. You can do it with some players, right? And it can be bad enough. Well, JP also has 26 walks and 23 Ks this year. He has a 352 on base percentage. Does he do everything right? No. Is he replaceable right now? Is he so bad that he can't be in the lineup? No, he's not the reason you're 20-22. His defense, Cal Raleigh is the reason, and that's my next point. Cal Raleigh is the biggest reason we're 20-22, but people love Cal, and they've given him this like grace period, and nobody's crapping on him. And I'm not here to like pile on to Cal because he cares and he's trying, and he's probably hurt. He's playing through an oblique. We know he's playing through something. But Cal Raleigh is for his last 36 with 16 strikeouts. So injury or not, Cal is the one who is costing you games.
I don't even need 2025 Cal Raleigh. Just give me 2024 Cal Raleigh at this point. Right? Yeah. If you're 2024 Cal Raleigh, this is a playoff team, in my opinion. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, totally. And just to be clear, like we're not dismissing the fact, and Cal Raleigh is like above average in fielding, right? So he's doing a good job there. To go back to the JP argument. We're not dismissing the fact or saying that anyone's wrong who's saying he's not very good defensively. He's lost range. He's lost arm strength, whatever. Totally. It's not worth it. It's not worth disrupting your clubhouse to the point of sorry, I'm interrupting myself here, but my train of thought is like people loved when Cal pushed the front office the other year and were like, you got to add, you got to do this, you got to do this. they're like, yeah, he has the beat of the clubhouse, or he has the pulse of the clubhouse. So you're going to do it the other way and switch that up by just like demoting Cal Raleigh, bringing in the golden boy Colt Emerson with the big contract who's making more than half the guys on the roster, and that's going to go well? Like, it's not going to go well. If you add Colt Emerson and you play him at third and you put Brendan Donovan in the left and you put Randy at DH, that also has disruptions, but Randy does not carry the same weight that JP carries in that clubhouse. It has been reported by multiple media members that Randy has a small corner of people. Everybody kind of likes him. It came through in the Cal stuff in the WBC, but he like doesn't talk to a lot of people. JP is the guy. You just don't screw it up. You know, will they re-sign him? No, he's going to be gone after this year, and we're going to remember him fondly. I think that would be my guess.
Yeah.
But
I think
you
it's a
don't
different
screw it up for this year.
conversation. Yeah. I think it's a different conversation if we're in the toilet, but they're not in the toilet yet. And so maybe we're just like, if
Yeah, I
this
guess
was
if
clearly
you're
a losing
right.
baseball team, it'd be like,
Yeah.
yeah, blow it up. Like, who
Yeah.
cares? But
Yeah,
this
I guess
is
you're
not,
right. If it's really bad, it's like, who cares if the
Yeah.
clubhouse is mad,
yeah,
right? But they're on the
Yeah.
verge or they're
and
floundering,
feel
or
free.
I don't know
yeah.
what they're doing. Yeah,
Call us out if we're completely wrong, right? Like, call us out if we're completely wrong.
not wrong.
And we're
It's just-
holding on to like the playoff team last year and all that was. But I do think that there's an element of like,
no, I think
you could do
ironically,
more.
the people who
help.
would say we're wrong are treating it like a fantasy baseball team. Like, you could just
Yeah.
drop and pick up a guy, right? And sure, you can, unless you're Kevin and you don't make any moves. But in real life, like, when you make these moves, it has repercussions on how people interact, how people trust, how whether George and Logan sign extensions or Brian Wu signs an extension or a guy wants to come here to add to
Yeah.
the team. They're like, well, what did you do to that dude who's been the rock of your franchise? You just like threw him to the side for some young guy. You know what I mean? You don't do that.
The Valkyries waved Kate Martin,
It's not the same.
and
It's not the same.
she was beloved.
It's not the
All
same.
right.
All right. Last
All
one
right.
for the Mariners. Okay. 5 things. We have 5 things. Last one. Platoons. If I could change something about the Mariners, I would make it so we didn't have so much platooning.
Yeah. Can
As
you
Ryan
level
Divish-
set? Yeah. Can you level set and tell?
Yeah. As
the
Ryan
listeners
Divish
what the
reported.
platoons are?
Okay, I'll say the platoons first. Against righties, most of the time we get Luke Raley and Dominic Canzone in the lineup. And against lefties, they get replaced with Rob Refsnyder and Connor Joe right now. Not inspiring, to say the least. The Mariners are 5-8 in games started against left-handed pitchers. This is from Ryan Divish. As a team, they're hitting 200 versus lefties, 27th in the league, 283 on base, 29th in the league, 334 slugging, 27th, and 111 strikeouts, 25th. They suck against lefty starters. We talked about this on another pod. People are bringing in lefty relievers to get Raley. They're not doing it to get Raley and Canzone out, but they're doing it because we have a ton of lefty hitters, and it gets those guys out. And Raley, hello, he's got 7 homers. Like, he hit 2 homers the other night. He's been really good. Rob Refsnyder, not so much. So, yeah, it doesn't hurt to get, Canzone and Raley out of the lineup and to get these lefty relievers in. And I wish we had Kyle Tucker who could hit against everybody.
Yeah. I think the bad part about this Refsnyder thing is that they boasted that he was one of the best hitters against left-handed pitching.
I mean, I boasted it. I was excited, and I fell for it. I fell for the AJ Pollock, the 17 other platoon bats that we've tried to do that don't work. I fell for it.
Yeah.
Makes me mad. I'm mad. So here's the good news. 3 more games against Houston, 2 under 500. We're 4-0 in the season against the Houston Astros, and there are no lefty starters going in the series. And Rob Refsnyder got a hit tonight, so good for Rob.
It's only May, although I can't say it's only April. And so now the whole breaking in period, I think the hot takes are going to start to be, they're going to start to come out a little more here.
They're on Twitter every night. So if you want to go on X and see the hot takes, they're there, and people have the hot takes.
You got to follow Mariner Muse. I don't know if it's necessarily a hot take, but he had something about Refsnyder. Like, imagine that you were getting paid X million to just hit against left-handed pitchers, and that you completely sucked at your job.
That's sports for you, buddy. Yeah, it happens all the time. No comment on anything else. Okay.
Yeah.
4 things. We got our 5 things out of the way. Obviously, it'll go faster as we go along. 4 things. Soccer. I'm making Kevin talk about soccer.
Yeah, what's going on with this World Cup hotel situation?
All right, let's start there. Nothing really. It's a kind of a non-story, but they're making it into a story that Seattle hotels are like, we're not as booked as we thought we'd be for the World Cup. And then when you read the article in the Seattle Times, it says things like people aren't sure if they want to travel to the United States and or it's harder to get into the United States than it was before. Yeah, pretty obvious, right? So maybe people aren't going to travel here as much for the World Cup, right?
Yeah.
That might be the case. So
I will say I'm a biased. My dad worked in the hospitality business in the Seattle area for decades and great hotels. So this is not a paid sponsorship, but there's great hotels in the Seattle
don't have
area. If
any
you
of
need a
those yet.
recommendation, hit me up.
Really?
Leave a
you're gonna
comment.
give hotel recs. Wow.
I'll give hotel recs. I know
That's
this scene
great.
quite well.
I mean, the hotel that is probably too much money. I don't want to throw them under the bus, but it is kind of cool. Is that Silver Cloud Hotel right across from T-Mobile?
Is
Like,
that
if
the
you're
one
going to-
that, yeah, the Husky players get NIL deals with them too?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure there's a couple about like El
There's I
and-
think they get
yeah.
the one that's in the U District. I think is the one that does
Okay.
it for them because that's the one that like a lot of families stay at when they go
Got
visit.
it.
The Silver Cloud across from T-Mobile. I stayed there with my boys once in the pandemic when we every once in a while we do just like a random hotel night. And they would like put like 2 people on your floor. You know, we were up on the roof looking into the baseball stadium. There's no baseball being played. And it was just a way to get out of the house. And the 3 of us had like a boys' night. The pool wasn't open. You know, we just watched TV and ate junk food. And it was a cool hotel. But it's right
I can't
across
wait
from the
till my
stadium.
boys are that age, but I'll savor it
yeah.
right now. That sounds awesome.
Hotels, Kev, side note, hotels is the best thing when you have your 2 boys. Like,
Because everything's like amazing to them, right?
yeah,
Like,
and they, you know, you have rules like, no, we're not bringing iPads and screens. Like the rule of hotels is you have to watch the stuff that's on TV. It's like old school. So you end
Yeah.
up watching like a Marvel movie, or you watch like The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, some great like Disney Channel, Nickelodeon stuff, and you just eat stupid candy. And if the pool's open, you go there. It's hotel life is great.
Yeah.
It's great. It's awesome. Okay, so the World Cup hotels, I'm not so sure about. Our local teams, before we come back, we're going to finish with the World Cup. But our second thing here is my best friend Lewis texts me, and you know he just texted me out of the blue. I didn't even respond. I'll just respond on the podcast. And he's like, the Sounders forwards are not good at soccer. He didn't quite say it that way. But he's basically like, they're not good enough. They should have spent money. They can't score. His first line was, the Sounders need a forward. Sounders are in the mix. They're good again.
Yeah.
Right? But he's kind of right, Kev.
So Jordan
kinda
Morris is
frustrating.
injured, or like kind of on
Jordan
and off
Morris
injured.
is just kind of Jordan Morris. Like, he's not that good at soccer. Does that sound terrible? I mean, he just doesn't do much anymore.
Do people want to JP Crawford him too, or is he?
Man, that's a good analogy. I don't know. Here's what I want to give you on the Sounders forwards. I have some more research here. Danny Mozovsky is our best forward when it comes to, sorry, I have to find the stat here, expected goals, because you kind of got to look at like expected goals. And he's 47th in the MLS in expected goals. It's not good, right? Of all forwards. And his expected goals on the year is like 2.9 goals in the entire season. Their next best player is 68th, and it's Albert Rusnak, who's a midfielder. So just advanced stats wise, the Sounders don't score a lot of goals. They don't have a dangerous forward. They thought they were getting one in Jesus Ferreira, but he's really playing more of like a attacking midfield or winger, depending on the day.
How about De Rosario?
I was hopeful at the start of the year that he was going to be the one, and it just hasn't worked out this year. People who are critical of the Sounders would say they're just not going out and spending money in that international, transfer window. Like, the best example is they went out and paid a crap load of money for Clint Dempsey one time, right? They went and got Dempsey. They got to go out and get somebody who can score goals. They did it for a while. They had Obafemi Martins. They got him. He came in and scored a ton of goals, right? Obviously, Freddie Montero before that. Eddie Johnson was up there scoring a bunch of goals. Like, they need a striker.
You can't. So it's like you can't wait for De Rosario. Like, he's only 24. But it sounds like you're just like, because to me, it's like, well, if he's playing behind Morris, right? Like, you just have to kind of wait.
But Morris isn't really even playing that much anymore. Like,
Mazovsky's. Like,
yeah, and he's older. I mean, he's done great for the Sounders, but he's like such a shocker that he's even doing what he's doing. I'm gonna go look at their they played San Diego this weekend, and their lineup, Mazovsky scored. They had him. They had Rusnak and Morris technically up top, it says, in their formation. They had Ferreira as an outside winger. They have Rothrock, who I love. And they have like this guy, Snyder Burnell, who's playing midfield for them now. And Snyder Burnell is 19 years old. And on a podcast recently, I don't remember what soccer podcast, they basically said he's like one of the best prospects in American soccer right now. So they have like all this, like, to your point, fun young talent. But then they're starting Jordan Morris and Rusnak, who are older.
Yeah.
And, and they just, they need a forward. They need a striker. They need, I don't know how else to say it. They need to go find a way to spend money to do it. And maybe they'll win the MLS Cup if they do that. But otherwise, I don't see it happening. So, third thing, speaking of not scoring goals, is this a hot take? Laura Harvey is harming the rain. That's a hot take.
Or is ChatGPT harming the rain? Because that's where she gets her ideas. Although the model is getting better. Her coaching might get better.
I'm Team Claude. I'm Team Claude on this one.
I am Team Claude too.
Here's my argument. I saw this preseason preview for the NWSL, and they had the rain really low in the standings. And I think my hot take was they were going to win the
below or above Bay FC.
I don't remember, but they were like 14th out of 16 in this NWSL blogger,
below.
right?
Yeah.
And their main point was Laura Harvey's attack is boring and stale, and they don't score enough goals, and they're not exciting. And I thought, well, that's kind of harsh. She's pretty good. Like, she's generally regarded as one of the best coaches. Maybe they're just defensive minded. And I went to the game this weekend with my tickets, and they lost 1-0 to the Washington Spirit. And it just looked like another game where the Reign just don't really feel threatening at all, right?
Yeah.
So I did some research, Kev. And there's an argument to be made here. 2026 Seattle Reign, right? They have Mia Fischel on their lineup, Maddie Mercado, Maddie Darlene. They have players getting national team caps. Mia Fischel was the most expensive transfer in the history of the NWSL when she came over last year. She has not scored for us, right? She's not done really any. She did not stand out this weekend. 2026 expected goals, 1.38 per game. That's 11th out of 16. Okay. Actual goals, 0.88 per game, tied for second to last in the NWSL. So you say to yourself, well, maybe with 2025 they were better when they had Jordan Heidema and these different options, and Mondesir came in. 2025, they were last in the NWSL in expected goals, and they were third to last in actual goals. What about when Rapinoe was still playing in 2024? Third to last in expected goals, fourth in actual goals. So they don't score no matter who's on their offense. They are not scoring the last 3 years. They are boring on offense, and I'm sick of it as a season ticket holder. There you go. The fourth thing, Kev, for soccer this week is the World Cup's coming into Seattle, and it's only a month away, and they're starting to release more and more stuff, but it's really vague, and I don't know what to do with this. So I found on the website, beginning June 11th, fans will be able to experience every FIFA World Cup match and more at multiple locations at Seattle Center, Waterfront, Pacific Place, Victory Hall, and Sodo. All parties will be free and open to the public. What does that even mean? What kind of parties? What are we talking about? Are there slides? Do we have free snacks?
There's going to be a party in Renton,
there is going
by
to be
the
a party
way.
in Renton. Pioneer Square, this is the best thing I got, was Pioneer Square is going to turn it into a beer garden with big screens, which I don't know how often people hang out in Pioneer Square anymore or not, but like sounds like it could be fun. So I have tickets June 15th. It's a noon match, Belgium, Egypt. It's the only one I'm going to right now. My wife and I are going. We both don't have work. It's a Monday. Ideally, our son will have his license at that point. We're going to make him drop us off. And then we're just kicking it all morning down there. So I will report back what it looks like. But Seattle should be fun, theoretically, for this. So
yeah. And San Jose hosting a match too, I believe.
San Jose. They're not going to put it at San Jose State in that terrible stadium, are they?
No, they're going to do it at where the Earthquakes play.
Will they play in some terrible stadium, or have times changed?
PayPal Stadium right near the airport.
Times.
I mean, it's not beautiful.
So times have changed. They play in a better stadium now, is what you're saying?
I mean, that's where they're holding the Olympics too. So
it's a hub for activity. I don't think they're actually playing match
games. What the hell does that mean? A hub for activity.
Well, again, these are the things that
sounds like when I substituted a high school class. It was like, I'm not teaching it. This is a hub of activity.
That's how my senior classes are currently. They are a hub for activity. Let me tell you, we are done with the AP test, and it is rough for the next week and a half. It's a hub for activity. I agree with you. Who knows? The games in the Bay Area are being played at Levi Stadium.
Got it. Yeah.
Yeah. They're just doing stuff. It's a hub for activity in San Jose, in case you're wondering.
There's an In-N-Out right there.
I had somebody once tell me when I went to school in Santa Clara, which is right by San Jose. They're like, "Oh, the armpit of the West." I was like, "That is tough. Tough for San Jose."
That's like Aroma of Tacoma, but
maybe worse. I don't know. Okay, 3 things about the Seattle Storm, and they're going to be questions. So the first question is, what is different so far about the Seattle Storm from before? Anything you've seen that's different with Sonia Rahman as their head coach, who got her first WNBA win? Congratulations.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is that there's no. It seems that the team doesn't have a personality yet, and that's not surprising given the team's pretty much brand new. And we'll bring this up later, but I'm interested to see what happens when Ezzy's back. But right now, I think the biggest difference is that you don't have like these alpha personalities, and I'm thinking of Skylar Diggins just kind of controlling the game, like directing,
controlling in many ways,
being a coach. Yeah, being a coach on the floor, like that doesn't exist anymore. And it's kind of turned from this older veteran team to like, this is like Dom Malanga's like team now. Like she's the focal point.
That is true.
And it's like the media is saying it. They had the GM survey where they asked like who has the best young core, and the Storm the Storm won that category.
Interesting.
So I do think that it's pretty obvious that this is a play your young players and don't be afraid to lose type of season.
I would say the other thing that's different, and maybe it's not different starting the year, but they seem to be playing the bench a little bit more. She's playing 10 players. Quinn wasn't interested in really playing the bench very much, but it also maybe she did.
You're at the start of the season.
Like, it may not be fair. Maybe early in the year she did, and then at the end she narrowed it down. I'm actually going to try and
stuck with.
I'm going to try. Well, she had veterans and all that, but that is a difference. It goes with what you said. I'm going to go back to last year just to look at the first game of the year. Oh my God, they got destroyed by the Mercury in the first game of the year last year. So that's probably a hard one to tell because I'm sure they played people coming off the bench. She did play the bench a little bit less, last year, but she still played 10 people. So I think they're trusting the bench a little bit more. That's one. Kev, what's worth watching?
I definitely think Dom Malanga is definitely worth watching. I mean, I already said this, but she looks better. She doesn't look as raw in the first 2 games. Like she doesn't look like a rookie, basically, is what I'm saying. And that's pretty exciting because she's gotten better. Um and I do like Flau'jae. I think she's great. I think it's awesome that they got her for
Yeah.
free. Um And yeah, I think she could turn into like something a little more than just a role player. Like, I think she's going to be like a contributor, like a solid contributor.
She's
Not a star
right.
yet, but I like what I
She's
see. I think it was a great
she's what's
pick.
worth watching to me. Like she is fun. She's exciting. She plays with energy. She's doing things already in the WNBA she wasn't doing in college. They're expanding her game. What an absolute train wreck by the Valkyries to trade her away for Suarez, who they then released. They didn't get future value. They didn't get draft picks. They
You know
didn't
what
do
the
anything.
crazy thing is? They offered Suarez a developmental contract, and she decided to go with the Mercury
Yeah.
instead.
That's awesome. It's and their GM tried to say, oh, it's because of salary cap. Like, no, it's not. No, people who know the cap said it's absolutely not because of that. And even if it is, then you could have drafted someone who stays in Europe for a year. There's a girl this guy drafted, a woman, who signed with Kentucky, is going to play college basketball this year, and she's been drafted already because she was in Europe. You could have had her, and you don't have to pay her contract yet. Like, there's a million ways you could have done this that wasn't the disaster. The Storm absolutely fleeced the Valkyries. It's a joke to the Valkyries. I don't care if they beat the Storm every game this year. They lost in the game of life because we have Flau'jae. Okay. Number 1. No. Hold on. Ready?
Okay, go
What?
ahead.
What are you so frustrated about? What's going on?
Go ahead.
I have one more thing.
No.
What happened to your light? Your light just went out. Will the Storm be really bad this year?
Yeah, they're going to be horrible.
Okay.
Yeah, they will play hard though. Melbourne lost another tooth. Did you know she's chipped 3 teeth?
It's the same tooth though, I think. And I think it's their fake tooth, but it's incredible. 3 times.
Yeah.
Jade Melbourne. Just an absolute dog.
Yeah.
Kev,
they beat the Sun. They don't have they did. But that's just I think this is going to be a thing that they'll get wins against some bad teams, but they'll be at the bottom, and they'll probably beat a good team at some point. But the cream of the crop, the Sky, the Liberty.
They'll put the Sky at the top of the
Aces.
Although they got crushed on opening night, but then they crushed the Sparks. The Sparks might be bad, which is sad because they signed a bunch of
the Wings,
veterans.
I feel like there's 3 to 5 teams that are just really, really good, and on any given night, it's just going to be pretty impossible for this roster that the Storm currently has to beat those teams.
I think the tempo.
They don't have anybody that they can just say, go give me a bucket. They don't. And they lost their 5 leading scorers from last season. At least 2 to 3 of those people could have been the number 1 scorer on this team. So
I think
that's kind of the issue.
That's all accurate.
There's just no offensive output.
They could be better than the tempo, maybe, but they'll be better. They could be better than the Fire for Portland and the Sun. Those 2 teams seem bad. But I think they're going to be in the bottom 5 teams for sure. Maybe bottom 4 or bottom 3, like you said.
I want them to be in the bottom 3.
I do too. Here's why. The projected top 3 picks. And again, remember, Olivia Miles went back to school 2 years ago when no one expected it. People get hurt.
Yeah.
No one was expecting Awa Pham to be the number 3 pick. No one was expecting, let's see, I got to put it. Nobody had Fudd going number 1 overall a year ago, right? They had her in the top 5, but not. Here are the 3 that they think will be the top 3 next year. Juju Watkins, who's an absolute game changer. She's Maya Moore. She will change your franchise. I would do anything I could to get the number 1 pick, including rigging the lottery. Number 2, Hannah Hidalgo, absolutely awesome Notre Dame guard. And number 3, Madison Booker from Texas, who had a bad Final Four, but is she wears Kevin Durant's number. She went to Texas. She's a mid-range master. She's an amazing wing scorer. Those 3 are game changers on your franchise. Then it drops off to like good players, but kind of like not impact changers. If you can get one of those 3 to add into Malanga, Awafam, and Flau'jae, like all of a sudden you have the core to go win a championship someday. So
This
they
is
have to
this
get.
has been the recipe for the
Yes.
Storm.
This is it.
The Storm have done this. They've done this with Sue Bird and Lauren Jackson. They've done this with Sue Bird and Breonna Stewart, right? So I think this is like, all right, we have the big, right? Now you go and get the guard.
We don't screw up the number 1 overall pick. When we get the number 1 overall pick, we don't screw it up. So give us Juju.
Yep.
Have Juju come to Seattle. Oh my God, it would be the greatest thing ever. So that's what I'm rooting for. Okay. We're down to our two things. Husky basketball. One thing is men's basketball. Second is women's. You get to tell me about the men's basketball update as quick as you can.
Yeah.
Who is
men's
this person?
basketball.
Wilbur?
God,
What's his name? Who's the guy they just signed?
Who did we add?
Yeah.
Wow, I'm blanking. Wow, I wrote the article on him too.
Should we go to C-Town Sports real quick?
This is bad.
Winnie Braga?
No. Vinny, not
Vinny?
Winnie. It's Vinny Braga. And so people were responding to my tweet saying with a GIF of what's a Winna? What are those
Winnebago?
bands called? The Winna?
Yeah, Winnebago.
Literally, like that's
Nice.
his name.
It is kind
Vinny
of
Braga
his name, yeah.
Is a pro, and this came out of nowhere in Brazil. So he's playing against grown men in their top league. And as soon as this news broke, a bunch of these like Brazilian basketball reporters were sliding into my DMs, giving me like all this intel on this dude. And you can go and watch the tape. It's like any other problem that you have with like foreign basketball. Like unless you're intimately familiar with that
I just
league,
got a big. I pressed the tape and it gave me some like real music from Brazil there. So go ahead. I'm watching Vinny Braga right now.
It's just impossible to know like how good this person is. I do think it helps that he's playing against grown men. And so the transition of the Big Ten won't be all
Here's what
too
also
bad.
helps about that. He plays basketball.
Yeah.
If you watch his film, he plays like an old
Yeah.
man. I don't mean that necessarily as an insult. He just looks like he's like playing in a men's
doesn't look like
league.
a guy.
He just looks like he's playing at the WAC with like Spencer
It doesn't
Hawes.
look like a guy. It does not look like an AAU
No, he's
mixtape.
not.
He has a soft touch around the rim. He's not like, I don't want to call him soft, like the way he plays is soft. It's more like he has a light touch.
Yeah.
Like he's not like jamming things like
It's
super
layups.
emphatically. Yeah, he's dunking when he can. He's hitting layups. He's decent off the dribble. Anyways, I think he's the biggest pickup for Danny Sprinkle, and he'll have 3 years of eligibility.
That
Or
doesn't
4
mean,
years.
that
He'll
doesn't
actually
mean
have 4
anything
years.
anymore. But yeah,
Yeah. You know,
Vinny Braga.
I don't know. And they apparently might dip in to get their point guard out of Brazil, the same league
Vinny
too.
Braga just rejecting it as you speak. Him just watching Vinny. It's amazing.
So go to ctownsports.com. I wrote up a little bit
He's
about
trailing
him.
on
There's
the
some
break.
highlight
Here he
tapes
goes.
on there.
Two-hand dunk, Vinny Braga. Like giving the play-by-play. Okay, so you add him into. They also signed Lattimore Ford from Mount Si High School.
Yeah,
so
coming off an ACL
they have an
injury.
actual roster now, I guess.
Yeah, they still need a backup point guard or a starting point guard, depending on how you feel about Ryan Beasley out of USF. But it's a patched together roster. It's kind of like what you said. Like you know, great. You put together a roster. Like no matter how good it is, like you're gonna have to prove that you can scheme and compete with the big boys.
It certainly doesn't have the same hype as last year's roster, and maybe that's a good thing. We'll see.
I do think that's a good thing because it's kind of obvious that there were issues. Like, why else would Bryce and Tucker declare for the NBA draft? Why does Desmond Claude basically quit halfway through the season?
It's just bad fits, and who knows? But you know who's does have expectations based on a loaded transfer portal is the UW women. who now are
they were.
consensus top 15, top 10 team in the country going into next year. So those of you who are like complaining about the men's team and this, and this, how about you just go buy some women's season tickets? Actually, sorry, don't do that because I don't want my prices to go up. Just go to the games afterwards. Watch it on TV. They got another transfer portal edition that I don't think anyone saw coming. I don't think it was rumored about or anything, right? So this is now a couple weeks old because we haven't potted in a couple weeks. But Kaylin Carroll from Kentucky transfers into UW. She's a former McDonald's All-American. Not what you can say about any of the men's transfers coming in. A 5-star recruit. She was the 18th ranked player in the country coming out of high school by ESPN. And then she played 1 year at Kentucky, who was a 5 seed, and she averaged 3 points, 2 rebounds, played about 12 minutes a game, shot 31% from 3, played in 34 games, all as a freshman, very normal freshman numbers for a power, top 5 seed. Don't know why she left, don't know what the reason was, but she comes to UW. She's a frontline player, but sounds like she has some guard skills. And you're adding in Tilda Trigger, who they signed, 6'6" forward. You've got Bryn already back. You got Macy Heward on the roster. They added a guard.
Sounds like they
added a guard from Colorado State who had a huge game.
Yeah.
Brooke Carlson. And then they have a 4-star recruit and freshman Amaya Sunshine Garcia. They have 11 players on the roster right now. I think they're done.
4 more.
But I think they're done with the portal. I think they'll have additions, but I don't think we'll get another big portal addition. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Especially remember Tina Langley last year. I was frustrated seeing Harvey and some of the freshmen I liked not getting playing time. I don't think she wants to play a bunch of people. So they're kind of maxed out on the rotation already with 8 or 9 players that are pretty high profile. So I don't think they're adding anybody big. They don't need to. They got enough talent now, and they got size all of a sudden to compete in the Big Ten. And your expectations and mine should be through the roof for this team. You should be thinking Sweet 16 minimum. And that's pretty exciting. Okay, last one, Kev. One more thing. We went 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The one is your Seattle Kraken got the number 7 pick in the NHL draft, and that was super sad. They did not move up. They didn't get the number 1 pick for a team that
they do a lottery
they
for
did.
the NHL.
It's very similar to the NBA. They had a chance and they didn't move up. They're at 7th pick. They'll get a good player who we won't see for 10 years. They have no superstars. Can they just trade for Connor McDavid? That's my question.
Thank you. Next.
Yeah. I guess not. He supposedly wants to go somewhere. I don't think he's going to Seattle. We'll talk about it a different time. Maybe I'll write something about the Kraken's prospects that
Please
no one will
do.
read.
My back hurts.
From carrying the load?
Carrying the written content.
Wow. Dang.
Your AP tests are over.
Fired.
Contribute. Okay.
I don't know how the city of Renton feels about this. Oh, a lot of tension on the podcast. You know what someone said to me the other day? They go, you know why you guys are good? I said, tell me more. And they said, you don't crush each other. You just have good segments and banter. And then you just crush me right there. It's sad. Okay.
Well, I did want to tease this out, but big news. We are starting to monetize things here. Our Facebook page, Facebook invited us to monetize our page.
What does that even mean, Kev?
If people view our content on Facebook, then we get paid.
Let's go.
So this past week, we've made 20.
Woo! That's why people say we're the 8th best weekly Seattle sports podcast.
So go over to facebook.com/Seatown Sports and press a button.
Yeah, do that. We only got one person to Venmo
and maybe
us
we'll
for
get
the
a penny.
concessions. So we'll take the cents. We're just getting started here at the 94th episode. All right, we're gonna wrap things up with the top 5. We do a top 5 segment every week. Sometimes it's trivia. Sometimes we're trying to get each other. This week it's a combined effort to honor the Seattle Mariners in one way. Okay. There was a news story this week I saw on social media. I think you saw it as well. That CC Sabathia, most people probably associate him with Cleveland, the Yankees, right? when he's trimmed down quite a lot now, but as a pitcher, he's a big dude, lefty. He's traded to the Brewers. He plays for the Brewers 17 total starts in his entire Brewers career. Okay. And they put him in the Wall of Honor this weekend.
Is that like their Hall
So,
of Fame, or is it like a
It's
tier
important
below the Hall of Fame?
it
Did you
is.
go into
It's
this?
important. It's not their Hall of
Okay.
Fame because people were killing him, and somebody from the Brewers, a fan, was like, "It's not the Hall of Fame. Like, it's not the best players ever." It's actually kind of cool. It's outside the stadium. There are 79 names or 77 names in the Wall of Fame, and it's guys like random relievers, like Josh Hader's in it, Yelich is in it.
Hopefully Richie Sexton.
I don't know. That's a good one. We'll have to look it up. I'm sure Ryan Braun's in it, right? Like, but they have like all Dave Parker was also put in with CC, and he only played briefly for the Brewers. They have some criteria. I don't totally know the criteria, but you have to have like a moment, like a fan swelling of support. Like people look back in fondness, right? CC carried them to their first postseason in like 25 years. And he was awesome. He was pitching on 3 days rest down the stretch. He had this like incredible run. He had a terrible playoff game when he got to the playoffs. But we get that here in Seattle. Like breaking a drought, right?
Yeah.
This is a big deal. So let's come up with a top 5. If the Mariners had a Wall of Honor, we don't. We have statues. And they just announced, I'm wearing the jersey. I went to the game. This is my Randy Johnson jersey. It's got Johnson on the back. Okay, they announced they're going to do a statue. We can talk a different day about what statues they should or should not do, but they're going to have a Griffey, an Edgar, and a Randy. Sounds great. They're obviously going to have
and an Ichiro.
Oh, sorry, an Ichiro. They're going to have a Felix someday. Where else they go, I don't know. But if they had a Wall of Honor, these are people who would not be given a statue, who would not be in the Mariners Hall of Fame. So Dan Wilson's out, right? Jay Buhner's out. Edgar's out. Who would be in the Mariners Wall of Honor? Do you want to come up with the list together? I have a list I made that you can just react to, and then we can pick 5.
No, let's do it together.
You have one in mind?
All right. I already have people in mind. All right. So I think the issue is like, here's the primary issue. The 2001 team.
Yeah.
Just put your hand in the hat with all the names, and chances are you'll pull someone out that will qualify.
Right, and the best players on that team, right, are Ichiro and Edgar. They don't count in this category.
Yeah. Brett Boone is
I was thinking Brett Boone.
Like, you got to put him in. He had a great 3-year stint, had the amazing 2001 year with completely no help from anything in particular. He just had an amazing
help
year out
from
of
those
nowhere.
Frosted tips on the hair. That's all he had. Just like great hair, lots of homers,
140 RBIs.
Jesus, that's insane.
It was 35 home runs. I think it was.
He had 330.
He hit 320. Yeah.
Okay, Boone's a good one. It's almost too big for me. Okay, so here's one I'm going to give you. I think Luis Sojo has to be on that.
Luis Sojo.
So Luis Sojo, you said it like you don't know because you were too young. In 1995,
he was one of the
1995.
Yeah.
1-game playoff against the Angels. He hits the inside the park grand slam, if you want to call it that. He clears the bases. It was like a 1-run game. He clinches the playoff berth. I think to Mariner fans, if you think about a moment, a CC Sabathia having this moment to get him in the playoffs, they never made the playoffs before. Luis Sojo clinches it with that run. And, Randy obviously had an amazing performance, but Randy's in a different category. I think Luis Sojo has got to be on the list. You don't get to argue with me. You just get to pick somebody else.
Yeah, no, okay. I think you have to put Edwin Diaz on the list.
No.
I think Sasaki was here long enough. Dude, Edwin Diaz had a 59, was it 59 saves? 57 saves in 1 year. That is an insane number. To put that in perspective, he had 109 total saves for the Mariners.
So his 1 year
in that
is
one season.
That's doing it for you?
57 saves. His ERA was 1.6.
It was a ridiculous year.
Yeah. It sucks, though, because that year was 2018, and, I think that was one of the years they barely missed the playoffs. Like,
I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah,
like,
so maybe he doesn't belong.
But
let's put him in the bucket of maybe.
If we're gonna put him in the bucket
and then
of
you
no,
throw
if
out
you were gonna
another-
put him in the bucket of maybe, then I'm gonna counter that with the second most saves in Mariner history, Fernando Rodney. Dude,
yes,
48 saves in 2014. Probably just an absolute terrible baseball team. 2014. I'm going to go look. Oh, no, they had 87 wins. They finished third in the AL West. He had 48 saves. The hat, the arrow, all the theatrics, the music. I mean, Fernando, for me, is much more exciting, even though Edwin Diaz was so awesome, like such a better pitcher. The Fernando Rodney experience, as they call it, come on, that's got to be on the Wall of Honor.
He was so
you want him on there,
but like good. That yeah. With the hat,
totally
the side hat. Okay, like can I just name off 2001 guys that I think like should be in the conversation?
I threw some down,
I don't. Yeah, I think like Freddie Garcia should be like the Carlos Aguirre.
So the drag bunt, which is not 2001. Like, it's 2000, but that was one for me too. That won a series. Carlos Aguirre winning a series with the drag bunt.
Yeah.
Also famous for being part of the Randy Johnson trade. There's some stuff there. Garcia to me is like in a weird, and Mike Cameron's another one who's in a weird category of like good enough for long enough that like it's not really Wall of Honor. Like I'm looking for like, for me, shorter stints or shorter moments or like, you know, they were like good too long, like multiple year All-Star for Freddie Garcia, but he's not going to get a statue. He's not getting in the Mariners Hall of Fame. Maybe he does get in the Mariners Hall of Fame, actually. Probably not.
I mean, it's almost like the Hall of, what's it called?
It's the Hall of Great Moments.
No. What's the
Hall of Pretty Good? Yeah, Freddie Garcia is in the Mariners Hall of Pretty Good, as is Joey Cora, Mark McLemore, right? Like McLemore's going to be on a statue this summer too. He's in the 2001 statue. San Javier, like he's in that mix. One I would throw out, you may not know this reference either, but Bob Walcott.
Interesting.
So, Bob Walcott, not a good Mariners career. But in 1995, because Randy Johnson pitched in Game 5 against the Yankees, Bob Walcott had to pitch Game 1 of the ALCS against Cleveland. As a rookie, he got added to the roster for the division, from the division round to the ALCS because they needed a starter. And he went out and they won the game. No, they didn't win the series. If they won the series, he's 100% on the Wall of Honor. They didn't win the series, and he never really did anything after that.
I think a lock, Eugenio Suarez.
Good one.
The dude bounced back to the Mariners and then like kind of sucked for like a couple months and then puts together like one of the greatest moments in franchise history.
That's a good, yeah, I'm with you. That grand slam, he's on there. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the same breath, Carlos Santana, kind of a random one.
Yeah, the Blue Jays series.
And kind of turned Julio around, right? He had some huge homers in the run to back to the playoffs, first time since 2001. There's anyone who's not Cal, Julio, you know what I mean? The guys who are going to be all-timers from that team that broke the playoff drought. I feel like Carlos Santana is the like random player on that team. Isn't he?
Yeah, I agree.
Suarez is like less random than Carlos Santana in some ways, but Suarez is a really good one.
I think we're missing out on some starting.
So James
pitchers.
Paxton is my one.
James
Paxton is just like, when you as a Mariners fan, you're just like, who's the Mariners pitcher that you're like, no, I will fight you. I will die for this guy. He was better than you think. And it's James Paxton for the Mariners fans.
I think the other ones you got to throw in there are Arthur Rhodes and Jeff Nelson.
Yeah, those are good.
Because they were so crucial to those bullpens in the early 2000s.
Except for Arthur Rhodes blew the 2001 playoffs, so it's hard for me to pick him.
Yeah. Paxton
just has, did he have a perfect game or a no-hitter? No-hitter, right? And like, he just, my memory, like if somebody's like, hey, what do you think of James Paxton on the Mariners? I'm like, he was awesome. He was a number one starter. He was an absolute dog. I will never remember James Paxton not being good with the Mariners. Whereas like if you're like, hey, how about Andy Bennis in 1995? I was like, it was fine. If somebody's like Aaron Seeley, I was like, he's fine. Cliff Lee, who was
the guy in the
amazing
90s?
on the Mariners before he got traded, but he was such a jerk about it. It's really Paxton, man. He's the dude.
Paxton had a no-hitter too, right?
I just said that.
Yeah. So I think it's just like the other people would be like, God, Iwakuma is also another guy.
Hall pretty good.
He's too good for too long.
Maybe Paxton's Hall pretty good too. But only other name I'll throw out. So we don't have a top 5, but we're close enough. Vince Coleman. So he gets traded to the Mariners in 95 in August, post-deadline, and he's such a spark plug for that team making the playoffs. He was so awesome. Had this huge grand slam, I think against the A's maybe, on the way to the playoffs. Vince Coleman was great. And then he never played for them again, I think. So Vince Coleman would be honest.
Okay, I want to throw one more name. Cliff Lee.
I just said him. You're not listening to anything I'm saying.
Wait, did you say Cliff Lee?
I said he had this amazing short stint in the Mariners, but he was a jerk and nobody liked him and he didn't want to be there. So he doesn't count. So you don't get him.
All right. No. He walked 6 people.
He was amazing.
103 innings.
Yeah, Cliff Lee is an example of somebody who, how people do this all the time where they didn't watch it and they just look back at the stats and they're like, that guy was awesome. The advanced stats tell me he was awesome. And so, like Richie Sexson, we look back all the time and we're like, man, he was better than we thought. Richie Sexson wasn't that good for the Mariners. I don't care what his stats say. It was a big time disappointment. Cliff Lee was awesome. He also hated Seattle. He said that. He's like, I don't like it here. And then they traded him. So I'll take Vince Coleman.
I mean, at least he was truthful.
Vince Coleman, who hit 290 and had 16 steals in just 40 games for the Mariners to put them in the playoffs. Give me Luis Sojo.
It's too bad
Vince Coleman.
Yeah.
Carlos Santana.
Brett Boone. Edwin Diaz. Now Edwin
Fernando
Diaz.
Rodney.
Gotta put in Suarez. Yeah.
Top 5. Done.
Top 8.
That was fun.
All right. We made 27 cents.
We're rich. You have to go accept a trade right now.
Yeah. You sent the trade.
No, it has to be. You got to click it.
Here we go.
Kevin's so rattled by having to accept a trade.
Live. Larry Hernandez has proposed a trade.
Next week we will live trade in our WNBA fantasy league.
I can't believe I'm buyer's remorse.
Buyer's remorse is the best. I swindled you live on the podcast. And then we got 27 cents out of it. This is great. All right.
Oh my gosh.
Come back next week and listen to us do something equally boring and ridiculous. See ya.
All right. See you next week.